Site Selection magazine ranked our region top 3 in the United States last year for business expansions and attractions. And inside those numbers, the National Trade magazine found 2 top micropolitan areas here in our region as well. Both Indiana, Pennsylvania and Newcastle, Pennsylvania ranked among the top 25 micropolitan areas in the United States in terms of business investment last year. And our next guest illustrates one of those stories happening here in our region. It turns out a convenient location between Pittsburgh and Cleveland and a strong market for regulatory compliance testing is driving growth at a company called Keystone Compliance in Lawrence County. Founded just 5 years ago by a husband and wife team, the company has emerged as the 16th fastest growing company in our region and one of 286 business attraction and expansion wins in the region last year. Rhonda Masson is Vice President of Keystone Compliance, and Sam Mastovich is the company's general manager. And welcome. Good to see both of you.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Great story. Your husband brought this business home. You were what, in California when you got the idea?
Yeah, we've had he's always had the drive or the want to have his own business. But yes, we were living in Southern California and doing the same type of business out there.
But kind of managing testing laboratories.
That's
okay.
Right, not managing laboratories. And we decided to go venture out on our own and try it ourselves, and it's been an exciting adventure.
What made you think this area, our region, especially Newcastle, might be the right place to do something?
You know, we just did a lot of research and looked at the area and realized there were just no labs of our kind in this area. So a lot of the manufacturers were having to travel, go outside this area to take their products to other, the West Coast and the further east, and to get this testing done. So we saw a real need in this area.
That's amazing that you think about all the manufacturing that goes on, say, between Morgantown and Cleveland, and there really were no testing.
Very few. There are a few that just do bits and pieces, but we wanted the whole one-stop shop type facility lab so that they didn't have to travel. And it would benefit the community that he grew up in as well. Which
is really cool to want to come home and do that. Sam, you were their banker to begin with, right?
Yes, I was.
So you must have seen a real opportunity because now you've joined the company.
Right. It's a great business. It's a great industry, and it's just great people. And I was very fortunate to be introduced to them early on. We've been able to do a lot of great things there. As you mentioned, the Pittsburgh 100, that's a great accomplishment for the business. Being able to increase the workforce from everybody named Masson to now we have 15 employees on staff and plans to definitely add more in the future.
Well, I know we've got some stills to show a sense of what goes on inside this facility. The first machine is an electrodynamic shaker.
That's correct. What this is it's a shaker that we place a manufactured product on. It has 11,000 force pounds, and what that means is we could put conceivably an item on it that is 11,000 pounds and introduce 1 G of vibration. So we could, if you scale back from that, we could put an item on there that is 110 pounds and introduce 100 Gs of vibration.
So what, you can test how long it takes till it falls apart?
Sure. One industry that requires a lot of vibration testing is the rail industry. We can simulate rail travel with this shaker and with the controller that goes with it.
So whether the product is traveling on the train or part of the train,
correct,
you can try to figure out how it's going to hold up with that kind of vibration.
Right.
The next one is called a large semi-anechoic chamber.
That's correct.
Okay, that looks like a pretty big space there. Right?
It's a very large chamber, and we designed it that way so that we could fit large items in this chamber. We test electromagnetics in there. We can put drones, aircraft in there. We could put a car in there if we wanted to. It's that large. We have the large, extra large doors.
And then sees what happens with electromagnetic radiation and how it affects the performance?
And what it does, yeah, EMI, EMC, they take measurements on what the unit is putting off and what's, they put it in there so it encloses completely, so there's no radio waves coming in or out.
Yeah, you have to have
because you don't want something to shut it down while it's running, operating, and you don't want it to shut something else down in operations. So they run a series of tests of different frequencies on that unit and see what happens.
Wow, pretty sophisticated stuff. You mentioned a drone. We actually have a picture of a drone test underway, right?
This is actually a company out of Washington, D.C. that was working on a camera system for this particular drone helicopter. And what we take great pride in with this chamber, we have a full exhaust system. And whenever we test an item, that item has to be operating. So this drone, the rotor was running while we were testing in the chamber. And there are very few companies in the country that have that capability, that can test an operating mini helicopter.
Okay, or if, as you say, if you had a car in there or whatever else, you can run the car and,
Sure.
and you can do it safely.
Right.
Yeah, that's so, and you mentioned that's from Washington, D.C., so you're finding that even though you built the facility to be in a part of the country where there wasn't this kind of testing, it sounds like you're finding customers from outside our region as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of this has to do with Tony being in the business for so long. He's built a reputation from coast to coast, and a lot of people realize where he's at and they follow him. But I mean, advertising and just the capabilities that we have, the size of the chamber, the size of the shakers, the capabilities, a lot of other labs just don't have.
One other thing that we offer too is we are accredited through A2LA, and that's the American Association of Laboratory Accreditation. And with that accreditation, a company who comes to us and receives their test report that shows all of the results from their testing, that is basically there are mutual recognition agreements with other countries. That report can be then used for over 50 world economies. So if you have a Pittsburgh company looking to export, they come to us, we do the testing for them. That testing can then be used towards them receiving their worldwide accreditation.
Wow, really exciting. Great to see it happening here in our region. Sam Mastovich, Rhonda Masson from Keystone Compliance, and congratulations. Thanks for bringing it home, too.
Well,
this is
well,
really
thank
cool.
you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
absolutely. Coming up next, two powerhouse organizations in our region team up to make sure there's a place for everyone at the burgeoning science, technology, engineering, and math table when our region's business continues.